this research, we'll be studying how a review-based recommender system has a different impact on an hedonic and utilitarian product in an IoT framework. In this presentation, we'll be going over through the problem. We'll be looking at the background and some of the relevant work that have been done previously. We'll be doing a comparative analysis of existing approaches. We'll propose an approach and tell you why our approach is a novel approach. And then finally, we'll end with a conclusion. Due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, lockdown and social distancing laws have pushed a substantial proportion of economic activity online. A report by Australian Post showed that in year 2020, online sale increased by 57%, with 1.36 million Australians purchasing online for the first time. This emergence of e-commerce as a primary shopping mode has increased consumers' dependence on product reviews to supplement their knowledge of the product or services being sold. However, these reviews are often in an unstructured textual format and in massive volume, making it impossible for an average human reader to monitor and comprehend all user feedback to find the right product that fits the user's preference. Thus, an automated system should be used to summarize those feedback. Secondly, recommender system. Although many studies have found that recommender systems significantly affect buyer's choice and lead to increase in purchase volume, different organizations use different algorithms to search through the vast amount of dynamically generated data to provide consumer with the product that might interest them. However, out of these algorithms, collaborative filtering is the most promising one. It is well known use in e-commerce. However, it has some well-known shortcomings, for example, data sparsity issue and the cold start problem. These problems are caused when customer ratings are insufficient in number to identify similarities in customer interests. To overcome this sparsity problem, researchers have suggested using valuable information from customer feedback to improve the performance of the current recommender system. They believe that the rich information embedded in the reviews can enhance the overall recommendation quality, thus having a more significant impact on customers' decision-making process. Nonetheless, different impact of product reviews. Many studies have showed that product attributes, utilitarian versus hedonic in this matter, moderates the impact of recommender system. For example, Lee and Hussain in 2016. By considering the importance of the product attributes in recommender system, in this research we will be studying the impact of recommender system developed using the output of aspect-based sentiment analysis on customer feedback and other characteristics of the product reviews on the purchase intention. We will also aim to investigate how the effect of user review-based recommender system varies with different product types, such as utilitarian versus hedonic. In order to carry out our research, we looked at various concepts which has been studied before. These concepts include electronic word of mouth. These electronic word of mouth have become an integral part of e-commerce. They significantly impact the potential customer's attitude and behavior towards the product and other information on the website. Numerous studies have studied the importance of electronic word of mouth in e-commerce and its effect on purchase intention and sales. For instance, Hussain et al. In 2017 found that electronic word of mouth tends to reduce perceived risk. According to Jalilwand and Samir in 2012, electronic word of mouth is one of the most potent factors affecting brand image and purchasing intention in an automobile industry. A study by Babar et al. In 2016 found that the effect of online electronic word of mouth by a reliable and knowledgeable resource on online buying intention of recipient is influenced by purchasing attitude. Similarly, another study in 2019 revealed that positive sentiment has a significant impact on sales. When investigating the effect on performance, sales of tablets vary with the sentiment expressed in the review and their study. We also did some research on sentiment analysis. Sediment analysis uses natural language process technique to detect and extract sediments from textual data. Its application has expanded to nearly every possible domain, from consumer goods, utilities, hospital, and financial services to social event and political campaign. Many studies have previously highlighted implementing aspect-based sentiment analysis on customer review in an effective technique to understand people's preference about the product. Another study used sentiment analysis to analyze movie reviews on discussion boards to identify different sentiments associated with movies such as cast, story, director. We also looked at different characteristics of review. Different product review characteristics have different impact on purchase intention. Features such as time of review, content related to the product durability and quality, profile picture, characteristics and reputation, balance of review, conflicting rating, and product-related attributes affect review credibility. An experimental study by Lim et al. In 2012 showed that how positive reviews have a more significant impact on the purchase decision than a negative review. The result of this study was confirmed by another experimental study by Jia and Lu in 2018. Thus, customer feedback characteristics and content can be used in recommender system to produce a good quality recommendation. We also looked for the word recommender system. A recommender system is a decision-making strategy. It alleviates the information overload by suggesting a list of items that may interest a particular user. They're employed in various websites such as Netflix, YouTube, and Spotify to provide music and video recommendation. They use in Amazon and Alibaba to suggest a product to buy, Yahoo or Google News to help users decide what to read. In 2014, Honk and Pavlov found that simple act of recommendation can reduce the perceived risk of buying online and increase purchase probability. Recommenders work by lowering product uncertainty and search cost barrier as they might hinder purchase decision. Literature by Choi et al. In 2011 indicated when a recommender proposes a product, it provides a social presence by saying people like you preferred X, which positively impact purchase intention. Recommenders are built using various filtering techniques. Each differ from identifying similarities between consumer and objects to identify well-matched pair. These techniques are divided into three categories: collaborative filtering, content-based filtering, and habit filtering. The collaborative filtering is the most successful and commonly implemented. It suggests things by finding other people with similar tastes to the active user and relying on their recommendation. In contrast to collaborative filtering, content-based filtering uses similarities and features of the product to make recommendation. However, the effectiveness of both algorithms is limited when insufficient rating information is available to identify similarities in consumer interests or when the user has little historical data. The most common type alleviates the strength of the collaborative and content-based filtering by merging the results obtained from both types of filtering and presenting a recommendation list. However, these algorithms fail to respond to the disparity of users' content, continuously changing users' preference, and delivering cross-domain suggestions. We also look for application of recommender system in an IoT. The Internet of Things is a new paradigm that envisions a network infrastructure that allows various devices to communicate with one another at one any time, from any location. It generates diverse artifacts such as services and applications, making it difficult for consumers to identify the most relevant one. Therefore, recommender systems are a crucial component of an IoT solution, making finding relevant application and services easier. Example of recommendation in an IoT scenario include installing app, relevant data transfer to be deployed, hardware and software component to complete a specific task on a gateway. Some domain-specific examples in this content include food suggestion, customized shopping, health and animal monitoring, and smart homes. However, there are some challenges in using traditional recommendation system in an IoT arena. The data in IoT service system is enormous, complicated, and growing. Thus, it requires users to go through a lot of unnecessary information, leaving them exhausted and unsatisfied. Another issue is users' interest varies with time. Traditional recommender system presumes the user interest remains constant, neglecting the intrinsic relation between time and user's choice. Therefore, it is important to design a personalized recommendation system that considers users' preferences in real time and manages big data with reliability and efficiently. We also looked at utilitarian and hedonic products. A product is often classified as utilitarian or hedonic. Hedonic products are fun, entertaining, and enjoyable, whereas utilitarian products are goal-oriented, helpful, functional, and essential. Furthermore, when looking for these items in an e-store, utilitarian products have a quantitative characteristics such as memory capacity or screen resolution. In contrast, hedonic products have subjective attributes such as fragrance or taste. As a result, when looking for utilitarian product, consumer is focused on the goal they hope to achieve with the product, so consumers are more concerned with the possibility of the product failing to meet the goal. Hedonic products, on the other hand, are bought solely for pleasure. Thus, the cost of getting the product wrong is less than the utilitarian product. Therefore, the increased perceived risk of not finding the right item, a buyer could compare more products suggested by system to find the perfect utilitarian product. A study by Khaled et al. In 2017 suggested utilitarian and hedonic products have different influences on consumers' attitude and purchase decision. Thus, a recommender system needs to be considered the type of the product before making suggestion. Research by Choi et al. In 2011 explored those consumer tends to buy hedonic product when they suggested to them in the same way they would buy when advised by people more like them. We also looked at the different examples where recommender based on sentiment analysis and review characteristics were used. This is a table which shows that how each research is different from one another. From the comparative analysis, we found that none of the studies have studied the varying impact of review-based recommender system on different product types, which is very important for decision-making process. Moreover, none of the approaches have considered review characteristics in decision-making process. The comparative analysis of different approaches is presented in this slide. Therefore, our study aims to incorporate an expect-based sentiment analysis of customer review and product characteristics in a recommender system. The study analyzes the impact of review-based recommender system on utilitarian product and hedonic product purchase intention in an e-commerce setting. The approach helps to improve the quality and validity of recommendation. Moreover, it has overcome problems such as data sparsity and other issues highlighted earlier. However, to utilize customers' opinion and product characteristics in the context of recommender system, it is important to translate users' textual preferences not only in terms of negative and positive, but to what extent they're pessimistic or optimistic. The proposed approach is comprised of the following steps. The initial step is the process to analyze the credibility of different product reviews on social media websites. This will help us discard fake reviews by dishonest sellers, spammers, and get a more accurate product rating. Reviews will be filtered out based on specified rules. After filtering this information, users' preference for the product features will be obtained by extracting the keywords that have been clearly specified by the user on an e-commerce website search engine. Next, the user will achieve a similarity scores between a review and the desired attribute using a natural language processing technique analysis, word embedding algorithm, word2vec, and its pre-trained word vector. Lastly, we will test this approach in an experimental study to explore its impact on different product attributes in the context of this study, hedonic and utilitarian product. We will incorporate this recommender system in a functional e-commerce website simulation with hedonic and utilitarian type of product and test what kind of product or what type of products are most likely to put a user is supposed to put in the cart. We will also measure user satisfaction with recommendations provided to test the reliability of the recommender system proposed in this research. The proposed study depicts how reviews on social media influences customer purchase decision. Online retailers can leverage the result of this study to determine the most effective social media strategies for targeting and satisfying their target audience. It enables them to optimize the revenue of an e-commerce site. The research presented a novel approach integrating customer review information on social media and customer interest in different aspects of the product gathered. The study analyzes keywords in the in the search engine in the recommenders to enhance the suggestion compared to the other traditional algorithm. This study will also aid in determining which product type, hedonic or utilitarian, are best served by review-based recommender system. The approach overcomes issues related to changing user preference, changing data, lack of data, and domain sensitivity. In future, we will evaluate the approach in different complex nonlinear decision problem. Thank you.